Hello there guys and welcome to Daily Updates. The Economic Freedom Fighters has met with the African National Congress on the 28th of June 2024 to discuss any possible relationship, as there are a lot of uncertainties between the DA and the ANC GNU. So basically, the EFF is looking to counter on the weaknesses of the ANC and the DA. The EFF has opened an opportunity to work with the ANC as they've realized that the GNU is becoming impossible. But one of the biggest conditions is that they must exclude the DA and the FF Plus if they are going to work together. Basically, EFF says, we are willing to work with the ANC-led government provided the DA and the FF Plus become the opposition. They are not included in any agreement. The EFF believes that FF Plus and the DA are white supremacist parties, and they are not looking to advance the demands of the majority of the black people in South Africa. The EFF issued a statement declaring the following. They say that the EFF is willing to constitute and participate in an ANC-led government together with other political parties, with the exception of the Democratic Alliance and Freedom Front Plus. Our objection to work with the DA and FF Plus rests on the following. The DA and the FF Plus represent the imperialist, counter-revolutionary, white supremacist agenda demonstrated by their rejection of progressive internationalism. That is, Palestine, BRICS, Ukraine, Cuba, Western Sahara, affirmative action and expropriation of land without compensation for equal redistribution to address the apartheid and colonial land regime. The DA openly wrote to a foreign and imperialist government of the United States of America to interfere and supervise South Africa's democratic elections, an act that outrightly undermines our sovereignty and insults our collective intelligence as a country. The participation of the DA and FF Plus in the GNU only seeks to neutralize the possibility of economic transformation that an EFF and ANC coalition presents, such as the creation of a state bank, nationalization of the South African Reserve Bank, insourcing of workers, free education, healthcare, housing, water and sanitation. The DA and the FF Plus openly flirts with the cessation of the Western Cape or Cape Town and the celebration of the white supremacist history or culture on the recognition of Orania. By opposing the inclusion of the DA and the FF Plus, Julius Malema believes that ANC and EFF can come up with a new agreement between the two parties. The creation of a new agreement will mean that they put aside the GNU agreement and the statement of intent, and they come up with a new one, which is going to exclude the two other parties because they are not looking to advance the interest of black people. Basically, the EFF is saying that let us work together. Let us find a way forward because we both have the same interest. There are political parties that have the same interests as us, but those political parties are not DA or the FF Plus. It is becoming very hard to predict the future of South Africa, as each and every day there are negotiations taking part. Even Mmusi Maimane says that I am willing to work with the ANC provided that they are looking to stop corruption, to create employment, and to stop the crime that is happening in South Africa. Julius Malema has raised his hand to say that I see that ANC and DA are not going to come to a conclusion. So the best thing for me is to say that put the DA aside together with the FF Plus, because anyway, they want to advance the interest of Orania and are not looking to advance the interest of black people. So let us put them aside, work together in a government that is going to advance the interest of South Africa without having the DA or the FF Plus. It is becoming very interesting by the day, as the ANC is a very stressed political party. It is looking to be rescued. I remember I did a video where I said that the only political party that can rescue the ANC would be the EFF, and it looks like they stood up as they saw that the demands of the DA were becoming too much. So the only thing for the EFF was to say that I am willing to work with you, but you know who my enemy is, and I'm not willing to work with you if you want to be in a relationship with them. This remains to be seen whether ANC is going to trust the EFF and leave the DA, or whether they are going to reject the proposal of the EFF and continue to have an agreement with the DA. I believe that the DA had a good chance of working with the ANC, but their constant demand, increasing demands day after day, led to the situation where the EFF decided that this is not going to be a fruitful relationship, so the only solution would be for the EFF to show their interest. The ANC still has a chance. We might take as long as we want in terms of constituting a cabinet. They can take as much as the whole of July, provided that they are working on a solid government. It doesn't make sense for them to go and say that let us work with the DA, and at the end of the day, people will feel that the ANC has lost a lot. The best possible solution would be the ANC to go back to the drawing board, communicate with other political parties to weigh the demands of both of them. If the demands of the EFF can be workable, then the ANC can go and say that, well, let me leave the DA because they are looking for more power and not for government to do the best work. But if the demands of the EFF also are not workable, the ANC can still go back to the DA and say that I can work with you provided that you lower your demands. At the end of the day, ANC has power and they are on the middle. So DA and EFF will never work together. That is why there is no possibility of ANC being put on the side. The only thing the ANC would need to do is swallow their pride, and the EFF swallows their pride also. Probably the MK party included, they all swallow their pride and decide to work together for the advancement of South Africa. At this point is a worrying factor. The fact that no political party can come to a conclusion to say that we are willing to come as second and give ANC a lot of power for the betterment of South Africa. As long as there is no party that is willing to do that, it is a very big worry. But one hopes that EFF and ANC talks can lead to something that is going to be concrete.